All right, what's going on, guys? I wanted to film this quick video to teach you guys a real quick um, trading strategy that I have. More of a risk management strategy, if anything. This works with whatever trading style you personally have, whether it be harmonics, Elliott wave theory, or SMC, whatever you use, you can incorporate this into your trading. And for me personally, it has worked extremely well. I originally learned this from my mentor, Addy, and he's an extremely good trader. He's used it to get from $1,000 to over millions of dollars. So it's obviously worked for him, and he taught me, and now I wanted to share it with you guys. So basically, the strategy works on futures. This doesn't work on spot, and it's very simple. So I'm going to hop right into it. First of all, I use Bitget, my favorite trading platform right now, zero fees on spot, and they have an extremely high amount of volume. So you never have to worry about wicks or any, funny business from exchanges. Uh, Nothing like Binance $8,000 wick, right? And you can use this strategy on any exchange though. Bybit's a good one. Binance is a good one, but I highly recommend you don't use KuCoin futures. I really, really don't like them. So when you actually do this, you're obviously going to be in the futures category right here, USDT and futures. I'm in multiple trades right now. I don't want to screw up with that portfolio and enter a trade because in this video, I'm going to show you a trade so you can actually see it in use. So I'm just going to hop into demo real quick. So let me get rid of this. I don't know why that's there. So the strategy, I'm going to explain it in two ways real quick. So the first way is called the ladder strategy. So this is really, really nice if you're more of a swing trader. You don't care about the perfect entry and you just want to like sit back and chill and not stress and look at your computer or phone every second of the day. Because I used to do that, but now I just ladder and it makes my life so much easier. And so how the ladder strategy works is, I'm going to pull up TradingView real quick. Let's say you have levels that you're looking at, right? Let's say you have, I'm a big trend-based fib guy because I do Elliott wave theory. So let's say you thought this could potentially be an ABC down. Now I believe it's 5 waves, but let's say at the beginning we thought this was an ABC down. Your first potential target was, see, this didn't hit clean, so you wouldn't have entered here, but this 1.618 actually had potential. It hit here and we got close here, and we did even have divergences. So let's say you entered here for your first ladder. What I would do is I would enter 3 ladders. So one right here, one at my next fib, and for this example, it wouldn't make sense because for ABC, ideally we don't want it to go below the 200%. So you can put your stop right here. But let's just say, for example, you had another fib. Let's just say you had another fib level right here, right? That would be your third and final ladder, right? Let's say you had $100 to ladder into this position. I would use I would use 25% right here. So I would use $25 as my first ladder. My second ladder, I would also use $25. And my third ladder, I would use the remaining $75. Now, the reason I do this is because first ladder, my entry is here, right? Second ladder, my entry gets averaged in the middle because, it's the same dollar amount. Then third entry is actually a higher dollar amount than both of these. So it'll actually bring you down to right here. And that'll be your full ladder in, and you can have your stop down here, right? So this allows you to bring your entry down dramatically over time, and by just being patient and entering at targeted fibs, right? So I really, really, really like that strategy. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to pair it with the actual future strategy. So this is how I like to do it. I highly recommend it, and it works extremely well for me. But if it's not for you, totally fine. Everybody has their own style, but I really, really like this. So first thing you want to do is turn on cross margin. I never, ever, ever do isolated. I think it's the equivalent of shooting yourself in the foot and trying to run a marathon. It gives you no room to breathe on your stop loss and your liquidation price, and you can't really ladder because once you're in, your stop loss, or excuse me, your liquidation price is so low that you can't even add to your position without getting liquidated, right? So we're going to do cross leverage. Then the next thing we're going to do is bring our leverage all the way up to 100x. That's right, guys. If it's under 100, you're not having fun. I'm just kidding. But for real, I do 100x leverage, and you're probably thinking, holy crap, like, how do you manage 100x leverage? That's crazy. Like, you're psycho, right? No, because it's all about ratios. I actually probably have better risk management doing 100x leverage than someone does just doing 5x leverage. And the reason is because I won't enter more than 3% of my total USDT into one position. Okay, so how I would do it is I would do one ladder is maybe 0.33, like let's say, excuse me, 0.5. So let's just say I have that example from earlier. You do 0.5% of this 3%, right, into your first ladder, 0.5% into your second ladder, and then I do a full 2% ladder at my third target. And the way that this strategy works is you actually want it to go down to your last target so you can get more money into the trade, right? And this is just a rough idea. Obviously, every situation is different. Like the one I showed on TradingView, this would have been the max target on the trade. So I could do my 2% here. So I could have done my 0.5 here, then my 2% here, and I'd put my stop just right below in case there's a little wick before going up on this long. So that's how I would do the ladder strategy. For some reason, if you didn't even enter here and you knew this was the max, you could just do all 3% right here or all 2%, whatever's up to you. And very, very rarely I'll do 5%. And that's if I'm for sure know that this is like a fifth wave target. Then we do let's say we just do an ABC. And I know, or excuse me, let's say we do 5 waves up for an A wave. I know we're going to do an ABC up. So once I see those 5 waves up and we do our ABC down, I know that we should not break this low. I can go a little heavier because this stop loss is going to be extremely small. So it's worth the risk in that one, right? So I'm just going to do a 3% market buy to just show you why I love this method. So you can see 3% is going to be $78. I'm actually going to do 2% because it's going to be... I do 2% more than 3%, to be honest. I think it's safer. So I'm going to do 2% market buy. And this is why I love it. Look at my liquidation price. $8,000. We are not going to $8,000 right now. As much as you guys are bearish, we are just not going there right now. And anyway, I have a stop loss. So I don't care if we go there. I'll get stopped out long before that, right? So my liquidation price is so low that if I needed to ladder more, I don't recommend it, but if I needed to, I could, and it would only bring my liquidation price up maybe to 10,000, 12,000, right? Like let's say I absolutely had to ladder because invalidation was so low. I put another 2% into this market buy. Look, my liquidation price is now 13,500, right? So that's no big deal. Unlike isolated, you're never gonna have to worry about a liquidation price. Now, I wanted to keep this video short, so I'm gonna give you the last few tips here. I highly recommend a maximum stop loss of 3%. Now, what you have to remember is a 3% stop loss on 100x leverage is actually 300%, right? Because you do 3 times 100. So a 3% stop loss on this trade, for example, and I would do actually just below invalidation, but for example, would be 8,875, or excuse me, 18,000. 475. So you can see 300%. So what you would lose is you would lose a 3 times multiplier, right? 300%, 3 times multiplier of what you put in. So I put in that $50 originally. I would lose $150 if we hit my stop, right? Now, next is you're taking profits points because, hey, you're going to multiply that money the same way as if it would have hit your stop. So I'm pretty confident in this trade, for example, that we'll get to 19,900. So I'm going to put 19,900 as my take profit. It's about 4.5% move up unleveraged, right? So with leverage, that's going to be 100 times that, right? 100x. So 440% move to the upside, right? So that's a 4.4 times multiplier of that $50 that I originally put in. So that's going to be about $220 profit of my $50 that I put in. So this allows you to have excellent risk management because what's the max I could lose? It's going to be 3 times my original amount, right? So my original amount was 2% of my portfolio, right? So 3 times that is going to be 6% of my portfolio, right? So on this particular trade, I could lose 6% of my portfolio, right? But to the upside, I would make 4.4%, right, of my $50, which is $220, which $220 on my portfolio would be an 8% gain of the portfolio, right? So I could lose 6 but gain 8. Ideally, I wouldn't take that risk to reward ratio as much. I would, in this case, put my stop loss at the bottom right here, which would only allow me to lose 1%. And because I put 2% of my portfolio in, that's going to be 2%. So one more time, if I had my stop loss here, which I would do in the trade because that's invalidation, I would lose a maximum amount of 2% of my entire USDT in my demo account. Remember, it's demo. So I would lose maximum 2% of that. But with this risk to reward ratio, I could gain 8% of my account in a single trade, right? So that's the $200 plus return. Then what's beautiful about this is it compounds because now I would have 2,500 plus 200, which would be $2,700 in my account, which my next trade is going to be 2% of that, which is going to be slightly higher than 2% of my current USDT, right? So are you seeing how this builds over time, right? Eventually, when I get to $10,000, 2% of that is going to be $200 per trade, right? And then when I make that 500% gain, I'm going to be making $1,000 per trade with a risk of about $200 to $400. So this is why it works so well, because if you are, let's say, an decently average, profitable trader, let's say you win only 6 out of 10 trades, you're like barely profitable. This strategy will make you win because you are doing consistent trade sizes, and as your balance gets larger, you're going to be making more money. Let's say you have a 7 or 8 out of 10 win ratio. You're dramatically going to increase your portfolio each trade, and eventually you're going to hit that 10K mark, and trades are going to be $1,000 wins easily. And for friends of mine, literally, they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their USDT account. So if you had $100,000 in your account, your trade max size would be $2,000. A 5% move up for you, unleveraged, would net a $10,000 profit, right? And you could lose $2,000 to $3,000 with your stop loss. So really something to think about. I love this trading strategy, especially with the ladders. It just allows me to relax and really build my position into a really beautiful trade, especially when you get a nice 5% return. And Bitcoin, how easy is 5%? That's one day of trading. I mean, Bitcoin has gone up 10, 20% in a single day. So for it to go up 3 to 5%, you're going to be able to catch those moves with this 100x leverage way more than if you're trading spot, right? Because if you're trading spot or 5x leverage, a little 3% move would not really matter to you, wouldn't dramatically increase your account that much. But in this case, you can literally increase your account 8% per trade, completely safe with virtually no liquidation price. So if you found that helpful at all, I would really appreciate a sub on my channel. I'm just starting it out. And then I also have my Bitget referral link in case you wanted to try out this platform. I really, really like it. And I'll also have my Twitter link in my bio. I'd appreciate a follow on there. I'm going to be posting lots of research as well as trade setups. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.